Tonight, there is nowhere you need to be. Let your shoulders sink into the bed. Let your hands rest. Breathe in slowly and let it go. We are going back 300 years to a city of wood and paper, canals and lantern light. A city called Edo, the city that would one day become Tokyo.
And we will follow one man through one ordinary day. A carpenter. His neighbors call him Gen. Nothing important will happen today. No storms, no dramas, just wood and water and work and rest. So if you drift away before the day is done, that's fine. Gen will finish it without you.
The morning begins in the dark in a narrow room that smells of straw mats and last night's rice. Gen sleeps in a nagaya, a long wooden row house, one roof shared by many families, each home divided from the next by a thin wall of wood and clay. His room is small, 9 feet wide, 12 feet deep. A stove in the earthen entryway, a folded futon, a wooden box of tools by the wall.
That box is the most valuable thing he owns.
Outside, the alley is still quiet. Somewhere, a rooster. Somewhere, the first clatter of a wooden bucket at the shared well. The night air is cool, and the smell of the tide drifts in from the bay, because Edo is a city built at the edge of the water. Gen folds his futon. He washes his face at the well, nodding to the tofu seller's wife. The sky over the rooftops is turning the color of pale ash. He eats quickly cold rice, warm miso soup, a few pickles. Then he ties his sash, slips into his straw sandals, and lifts the toolbox onto his shoulder.
It is heavy, it is always heavy, but it is a good weight, the weight of a trade. Let me tell you what Gen carries, because a carpenter in Edo is only as good as his blades.
There are saws, but not like the saws you may know. A Japanese saw cuts when you pull it toward you, not when you push. The blade is thin and the cut is clean, and the sound is a soft, rhythmic whisper. Shoot, shoot, shoot. There are chisels, each wrapped with care, their edges sharp enough to shave the hairs from your arm. There is a wooden mallet, worn smooth, where his hand has held it for years. There is the sumitsubo, the ink pot, a small wooden reservoir of black ink with a silk line running through it. Stretch the line along a beam, lift it, let it snap, and it leaves a perfect, straight, black line on the wood. Every straight cut in this city begins with a line like that. And there is the plane, the kana, a simple block of oak with a blade set into it. Pulled along a beam, it peels away a shaving thinner than paper, thin enough to see the light through. When the plane is sharp and the stroke is true, the wood comes out smooth as still water. No paint, no varnish, just wood, planed so finely it shines. Gen sharpened every blade last night by lamplight on wet stones. He does this almost every night. It is slow work and quiet, and he does not mind it.
A dull blade, his master used to say, makes a loud carpenter.
The alley gate opens at dawn. Every neighborhood in Edo has one, a wooden gate closed at night and opened in the morning. And Gen steps out into the street. The city is waking up. A seller of clams calls out his baskets, swinging from a pole across his shoulder. a water vendor rattles past. Shop boys are taking down the wooden shutters one by one, and the smell of grilling fish drifts from a doorway. The streets are packed earth, still damp with morning. Wooden sandals clack. Somewhere a temple bell rolls its slow bronze sound across the rooftops, and the pigeons lift and settle again. Gen walks the same road every morning along the canal. Boats slide past, low in the water, carrying timber and rice and barrels of soy sauce. The boatmen lean on their poles, nobody hurries, and yet everything moves.
This is a city of 500,000 people, one of the largest cities in the world. And almost all of it is built of wood. Wood and clay and paper and straw. A city you could build with your hands.
And men like Gen did. The worksite is 3 streets away. A merchant is rebuilding his shop, bigger this time, with a proper tiled roof. The frame is already standing, tall cedar posts, honey-coloured in the morning light, joined to heavy beams overhead. They say that in the great shrines and temples, the master builders use no nails at all, that those frames are pure joinery, wood, holding wood, and nothing else. Gen has never worked on a shrine. A town shop like this one is humbler. There are iron nails in his toolbox, square cut and dark, and they do their quiet work here and there. But here is the thing to know: the strength of this building does not live in the nails. It lives in the joints, tongues and slots, locks and keys, shapes with names their own fathers taught them, cut so precisely that one beam slides into another and holds like 2 hands clasped. The nails only keep company. Wood moves, you see. It swells in the wet season and shrinks in the dry, and in this land the earth itself shakes. A rigid building breaks, a jointed building bends and gives a little and stands. So the carpenters of Edo cut joints. Gen sets down his toolbox and greets the master carpenter, and the 2 apprentices, one of whom is still yawning. The master hands Gen the day's task, the beams for the 2nd floor. Gen nods, rolls his shoulders once, and unwraps his tools with the ease of a man who has done this 10,000 mornings. The sun clears the rooftops. The first saw begins to sing.
Shoot, shoot, shoot. At midday, the work stops.
The men sit in the shade of the frame on stacks of fresh-cut cedar and unwrap their lunches. Rice, mostly. A little fish. The merchant's wife brings tea, and the master carpenter thanks her with a small bow. The smell of cedar is everywhere now, sweet and clean and dry. Sawdust drifts in the sunlight like slow snow. Gen leans back against a post he planed himself, and closes his eyes for a moment. Listen. The city hums quietly around the site. A peddler's voice far away. The creak of a cart. Children somewhere, and a dog, and the endless soft rustle of a city made of wood, breathing in the sun. The apprentice asks Gen how long it takes to learn the joints. Gen thinks about it, chewing.
10 years, he says, to cut them right. Longer to know when the wood will forgive you and when it won't.
The boy sighs, the master smiles into his tea. There is no hurry. The beams will wait. In Edo, a building is not raised in a day, and no one expects it to be. Good work is slow work, everyone knows this. And so the afternoon can begin gently, the way the morning did. The afternoon is for the quiet work. Gen stretches the ink line along a new beam. He lifts it and lets it snap. A clean black line, straight as a ray of light from one end to the other. He marks the joints with a bamboo pen, checking each measure twice against his square. Measure twice, cut once. Some truths are the same in every land, in every age. Then the chisel work, the slow tap, tap, tap of the mallet, wood curling away in small, crisp chips. And then the plane. Gen sets the beam, braces his feet, and pulls.
A long ribbon of wood rises from the blade, thin as breath, and drifts to the ground. Another pull, another ribbon. The surface of the beam turns smooth and smoother until it catches the low sun like water.
He runs his palm along it, no splinters, no ridges, just the warm grain of the cedar under his hand. The shadows grow long. The temple bell counts the hour again, further into the evening. One by one the tools are cleaned and wrapped and laid back into the box in their places. Because every tool has a place, and a tired man finds his tools by memory. The master looks over the day's beams and nods once. That is enough. That is how praise sounds at a work site in Edo.
On the way home, Gen stops where every working man in Edo stops.
The bathhouse. He pays his few copper coins at the entrance, folds his clothes into a basket, and steps through the low doorway into the steam. The bath is deep and very hot, hotter than you would believe, and full of the day's people, labourers, shop clerks, an old man humming, two boys being told to sit still. Gen lowers himself in one slow inch at a time and exhales. The heat finds his shoulders. It finds his forearms heavy from the saw. It unties the day, knot by knot. Sawdust and salt drift away, and the murmur of the bath rises around him. Soft talk, slow laughter, water moving against wood. The steam curls under the dark beams of the ceiling. Someone, somewhere, is always talking in a bathhouse. Nobody is really listening, and that is the comfort of it. You do not have to answer. You just have to soak and breathe and be one more tired body in the warm water, in the lamplight, in the evening of the city. Gen stays until his fingers wrinkle. The walk home is short, and the sky is the deep blue of late evening.
Lanterns glow at the corners of the streets. The neighborhood gate will close soon, and the night watchman is already making his first slow round, his wooden clappers knocking softly, two dry notes drifting down the alley.
Home, Gen lights a single small lamp. He eats simply, rice, soup, a little of this and that. Through the thin wall he can hear his neighbors. A baby settling, a quiet conversation, someone rinsing a pot. The Nagaya holds all of these lives gently, side by side, under one long roof he could repair with his eyes closed. He takes out one chisel, just one, and passes it slowly over the wet stone. Shh, The blade grows sharp. His eyes grow heavy. Tomorrow there will be beams again, and the ink line, and the singing of the saws. But that is tomorrow. He puts the tool away in its place. He spreads the futon. He blows out the lamp. And the darkness of the little room joins the darkness of the city. 500,000 people, streets of wood and paper, boats resting on black canals. All of it breathing slowly now, all of it settling, beam by beam, into the night. The clappers sound once more far away. The city sleeps.
And so can you.